I have one story so one day my companion and I, we had to, it was at the very end of my mission, and we had to go to a meeting at the stake center. The stake center is quite a ways, it's pretty far. So we have to take a bus, and then we have to walk for about 15 minutes to get to the church. And we were going to go there in the afternoon, and so in the morning was just normal. We did our studies, and we went to teach a recent convert. And we get to her house, and as we're teaching her, I remember I got an impression that, maybe I should take my bag and put it in our house before we leave. And I kind of thought to myself, that was the most random impression I've ever heard. It's just, I thought it was just my own thoughts. I was just being lazy. I didn't want to carry a bag with me. I don't even know. So I kind of just brushed it off. And my companion and I, we walked to the bus stop, and the bus stop is right across the street from my house. And so I remember I had that feeling again, you need to go put this bag in your house. I was just like, that is so dumb. Maybe I might need my scriptures or something. I don't know. I don't want to take it back into the house. And so we continued. We got on the bus and we rode over. It was about 35 minutes away on the bus. And so we got off. We started walking towards the chapel. And it was so we were new companions. We've only been together for 2 days. And so we're just, again, laughing and getting to know each other, just talking, having a good time. And in Brazil, they have a lot of motorcycles. And so it's normal to see motorcycles, and they usually have a lot of people on motorcycles. So we see this motorcycle pass us on the road, and there's 2 men on it. And they looked like they were in work clothes, and so, we didn't think anything of it. We continued to walk, and the one guy, they stop in front of us, quite a ways. The one guy gets off, and it looks like he's going to go into a house. And so we keep on walking, and all of a sudden, as we get closer, the guy turns towards us, and he starts walking towards us. And he still has his helmet on, so you couldn't really see his face very well. And I just remember he's walking like he's big and bad, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is good. And I realized he had a gun in his hand. And so he robbed us at gunpoint, and he told us to give him all that we had. And so, of course, we handed over our bags, and he asked for our cell phone, and we gave him our cell phone as well. And he told us to keep on walking and don't look back. And so he got on the motorcycle, left, and we just kept on walking. And we stopped at a corner and said a prayer because it wasn't real. It didn't hit us yet. And we said a prayer, and then we just kept on walking to the church. And we got there. We told the elders of what happened. And so we went later we did our meeting. And then later, after that, we went back to look for our bags. Because usually the people who rob the missionaries, they usually throw the scriptures out because they don't want scriptures. They just want things that have value. And so we went back to look for our scriptures. And as we were walking, I remember my companion turning to me and saying, she said that she didn't receive a prompting while we were walking on that road. She didn't feel that it was dangerous, and I didn't either. And I told her, I didn't feel that it was dangerous either. I didn't expect that to come out of nowhere. And she asked me, she's like, do you think we were worthy? And that kind of took me back a little bit. I'm like, oh my, am I really worthy of the Spirit? Is that why I didn't receive a prompting in that moment? Is because I wasn't worthy? And so we started talking about it, and I told her about the prompting I received in our lesson earlier that day. And she's like, you know what? I had that exact same prompting. And so we realized that the Spirit, he was willing to protect us, but he warned us way in advance. And it was a test to see if we would obey. And obviously we didn't obey. We just rubbed it off, And so we had to suffer the consequences of getting robbed. And I don't know, that was a huge testimony for me that the Spirit is willing to protect us. And that I wouldn't, even though I did lose my mission scriptures, I wouldn't trade that for anything, because I learned that valuable lesson that the Spirit will protect us, and we need to rely on that. And one of my friends the other day, he said that we need to own our promptings, which is so true. When we receive a prompting, we need to own it. We need to follow through with it, because we don't know what is going to be down the road. And I know that if we would have put in our bags into our house, that we would still have all those valuable things that we had in our bags. We still have our scriptures, we'd still have our cameras, all those things. But I am so grateful for the Spirit that He is willing to guide us and to protect us. And yeah, that's my story.